Hey guys, and welcome back to Mommy Talk. This is where I like to talk about my life and all things mommy, and welcome to my 3-month postpartum update. Normally Zuko is sleeping when I try to do these vlogs, and I usually just try and leave him alone if he's sleeping, but today he was awake, so I thought he would join us for his 3-month update, and we have a lot to go over for him, so let's just go ahead and start. So as of 3 months old, Zuko is officially reaching for his toys now, and he is super aware of like all of his surroundings. He loves to look at things that are visually stimulating. He can't actually reach out and grab them on purpose, but he can kind of fling his hands in the direction of the toys, which is, and he's getting pretty good at like doing it on purpose rather than accidentally. You are getting fussy already. Are you hungry? Anyway, so as you can tell, breastfeeding is going great. He's still exclusively breastfed as of this point. The only thing is because he is getting so aware, he often will get like distracted during our nursing sessions. So he'll like do this thing where he latches on and then drinks for like a second, and then he delatches and then latches on and then delatches and then latches on. So that can be a little bit frustrating just because obviously I want him to just nurse and have a good nursing session, but instead he gets like really distracted by what's around him. But other than that, breastfeeding is going really well. As far as Zuko's sleep patterns go, he is doing a lot better. He sleeps for longer stretches during the day, instead of like compared to like the 10 to 15 minute stretches that he was sleeping like the first couple months of his life, but he still isn't napping like very often, so it's still kind of hard to get things done during the day, so that can be a little bit difficult. But sleeping is getting better during the day. Because it's getting better during the day, it seems to be getting like worse at night. So he used to sleep for like really long stretches of time during the nighttime, but now he kind of gets like super fussy and wakes up a little bit more often, I think, at night. So that kind of sucks. I don't know if the trade-off is worth it. Apparently Zuko just really does not like being in these vlogs because he was getting super fussy, so I had to go put him down. So going back to Zuko and his updates, he really has been wanting to sit up a lot lately. He gets really agitated after laying down for a while, so we actually decided to go and buy like a seat to actually sit him up because he's not really old enough yet or big enough yet to like sit in a walker or like a jumperoo or an extra saucer. But I've never bought any of like the bumbos or anything like that because I hear it can be really bad for their hips, but he really just wants to sit up and see what people are doing. Some milestones that Zuko has hit this month: he learned how to roll over on exactly 3 months old. So he learned how to roll over from front to back. He hasn't learned how to roll over from back to front yet. He also learned how to giggle this month, which is the cutest thing ever. I never get tired of hearing a baby giggle, and even though it's my 4th baby, it's still so exciting to hear it for the first time. There's just nothing in this world that quite beats it. So he is just a super smiley baby. He smiles like first thing when he wakes up. He is not a grumpy baby when he wakes up. He's super happy all the time. So cloth diapering is going really well with Zuko. I've pretty much almost basically given up on cloth diapering Lyric, but cloth diapering Zuko is going really well. He is still in a size 1 disposables. We still do disposables with him, like if we're going out somewhere or like sometimes overnight. He is currently 13 pounds this month, so he has gained 2 pounds since my last update. He's still kind of a little guy. He fits into 0 to 3 month clothes right now, but he kind of just barely got into them like a couple weeks ago because he was still fitting into like some of the larger newborn size up until about probably 3 weeks ago. But it's nice because that means that he's not growing like too fast, even though I think he's growing so fast and he seems so big to me. I apologize if I look like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in this video and have a really red nose because I am just getting over being sick. So he also really loves bath time. I don't wash him that often. I usually try to wash him like every other day or every 2 days. So he isn't getting bathed that often, but when he does get bathed, he just loves it. He has so much fun and he just loves to kick around in the water, and it makes him so happy, and he loves bath time. He has his 4-month appointment in about 3 weeks. I'm going to be talking to his doctor about his skull shape because I am a little bit concerned. One of the big reasons that you're supposed to do tummy time with babies is so that they don't develop a flat spot on the back of their heads. And I've kind of noticed that Zuko has a flat spot, and I don't know if like all babies kind of have that. And I don't remember ever noticing it with my other kids, but I feel like I'm just more of like aware of it now because I was like specifically looking for it rather than before with my other kids. I just did a lot of tummy time and just kind of left it up to the doctors to tell me if they had a flat spot. But I'm really, really hoping that we don't have to do any kind of helmet therapy. And I don't know how that would affect like breastfeeding, and obviously I co-sleep with Zuko. Kind of a worry that he'll have to have some sort of helmet therapy. Okay, so that is really all I have to report on as far as Zuko's 3-month update. As far as me, 3 months postpartum, I really don't have a ton to really report on. Physically and emotionally, I've been feeling pretty normal. I mean, obviously I have my moments where I kind of have like a emotional high or an emotional low. Overall, I feel pretty well balanced, which I'm actually pleasantly surprised with because I have struggled with postpartum depression in the past, and I do struggle with clinical depression just on a normal basis. As far as my weight update goes, I am still 140 pounds, which I believe I was 140 pounds in my last video, which means I've been consistently 140 pounds pretty much since I've had Zuko. And I'm actually feeling pretty disappointed with that. As you know, I've got about 10 pounds left to lose before I reach my pre-pregnancy weight, but I have 20 pounds kind of as a goal in mind because I'd really like to lose about 20 pounds total. But it has gotten, I guess, harder and harder with each kid, so I guess by baby number 4, it is going to be a little bit more challenging to get that weight off, but I still kind of can't help feeling like that disappointment that more weight hasn't come off and that I've just sort of been plateauing at my weight. And I did mention this in my last vlog that I do plan on becoming more active, and I really need to start working on healing my diastasis recti, which, if you don't know what that is when your abdominal muscles are basically like ripped apart. It's actually a really common occurrence, like especially with women who get pregnant, where their abdominal muscles are just separated, and depending on how wide the separation is, it could go, you can heal it yourself, or depending on the degree, the severity of it, you might even need to have surgery. Luckily, I have been working on healing mine since Parker was born. My abdominal muscles first split open when I was pregnant with him, but because I keep getting pregnant over and over again, my body just hasn't had a chance to quite repair itself completely yet. My sex drive has slowly been coming back. I know that's kind of more of a taboo subject, but I feel like if you're watching me, it's because you're interested in what happens after postpartum, and this is definitely something that I feel like people need to talk about. When you have a baby, usually the last thing that's on your mind is intimacy, especially like those first few weeks. But for Zuko, my sex drive has been slowly coming back, so that's kind of a relief. It's one of the things that kind of makes you feel like normal again after having a baby. You just want to get back to your regular weight, you just want to fit into your old clothes, and you just really want to feel like your old self again. And so I feel like that's kind of coming around for me. And really the only thing left that I can think of to report on is that I don't have any hair loss. I know that's gonna sound really, really weird, but it's actually another like positive kind of symptom, because for every other time I've been pregnant after I have the baby, I've had this horrible symptom of just like losing a lot of hair after I have a baby, and nobody really warned me about that after I had a baby, and it just became something that I kind of had to discover for myself. And most likely it was just due to that huge hormonal surge, that huge hormonal shift in, being pregnant and growing all that hair to having the baby and then transitioning your hormones back into regulating out. I would always just lose a ton of hair, especially when I was in the shower. It would just come out in like gobs, which was always really gross. And so far, thankfully, I haven't really had that. I haven't had like any hair loss since I've had Zuko, and that's been really nice. It's been another one of those pleasant surprises. So really, that's all I can think to report on as far as me. I do actually have another fan question this week to answer, which I'm really excited for. And this question comes from The Weeks Go By, and she asks if I plan on having any more babies. And first I want to say congratulations, because it sounds like you are expecting yourself, which is super exciting. And the answer to your question is yes. I know that some people think that I'm crazy, and I might regret telling everybody so publicly that I do plan on having more kids, but the fact of the matter is, as of this moment, I don't want to have any more kids like right now, but I do want to have more kids eventually. The only real problem is kind of talking Cody into that, and for the most part I think he kind of just leaves that up to me because it's my body, but obviously it is kind of a joint decision. He says that he is pretty much done with having kids right now, but he's not completely close, like he is open to maybe having more in the future. That's just something we'll have to discuss when the time gets here. So the answer is yes, but as far as when we're having more babies, that is a little bit more unclear. So I guess that's it for this video. The only thing I have left to do is show you my 3-month postpartum belly. So this is with clothes on. And this is with the clothes up. So as you can tell, yes, I still do have my baby pooch, and that is probably not going to go away anytime soon. I do plan on losing weight, but that extra skin is probably never going to go away. But I figure by showing it off to the world and talking about it, then it's just going to become more normal for everybody to see, because frankly, that is the normal. I know I'm not the only woman out there who has a baby pooch and who has the stretch marks and the extra skin. So I'm doing it for you, ladies. Just remember to love your bodies. That's all I have to talk about. So make sure you're clicking that like button down below, share with your friends, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye guys.